it time?
Yeah, it's time. Yep, it's time. So remember what I said, the actual station there's no relevance in it, right? We keep time just so we can say, hey, you know, you did it in 48 seconds, right? But I know this, if they do it in 6 minutes, they're not as good as this group that did it in 48 seconds, right? Like, it's context of the station more so than what they're doing.
So you just told them to put 5 balls on top.
5 balls on that ledge right
That was
there.
it.
That's it. So, to your question, because I kind of know where you're going, right? Literally, there have been teams trying to put 5 balls up there like that, and normally what happens at like 5 minutes, they panic, and then they actually come up with a solution, right? So you're like, all right, great, no leaders. Okay. One of the things that's going to come out of this, we are not going to force a leadership label on anybody. If they are not a leader, they're not a leader. Okay? So I'm not looking for leaders. I'm really looking for non-leaders. And leaders will jump out at you. Okay? Because if you're trying to make leaders, then you're overriding what your bodies or your mind's already telling you is a good leader. Okay? And notice that I haven't went into any leadership traits. I haven't went into any characteristics. Nothing. It's what you got in you already, right? And as we're gonna detail it a little bit more, but there's no structure to what I'm teaching because you already have it in you. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so it's tough because I want to talk about it so much because there's so much awesomeness in here. But I'm like, it's all broken down right after this. Let's just get to the next one. Okay, so real quick. Okay, so active listening. One of the things that we're looking for is people that are actively listening, right? An active listener is trying to solve the problem every word that you give them, all right? They literally, you can see them. They're watching as you're talking, but they are actively listening to what you say, and the way you can tell, you'll say a key sentence, and they'll turn, and they'll change their focus of thought based on what you're telling them, okay? We all know what it looks like. When you're talking to your athletes or your administrator, you know like whether or not they're actively listening to you. So we're watching active listening, okay? Everybody in this group, Jelly, what's his name? Mark, Lance, Jamie Cosgrove, this is O-lineman. This is the only guy in the group that's not a superstar. But you see in front, in front, in front, in front, and back. Okay? It's a natural pecking order of life. Leaders are in the front, followers and losers are in the back. Just how it is. Right? Losers never stand in the front of the line. Ever. So if they're not in the front of the line, you automatically know what you got. Okay? So active listening. They're all sitting there trying to solve the problem. Mark's sitting there, he's like, I got this. Like, let's throw balls up there, okay? All right. So one of the things you can't hear here, Mark was saying, hey, let's throw these balls up here, right? We know that's a poor solution. Lance says, wait a minute. We can think of something better than that. Right? So Lance is taking feedback from another teammate and he's changing it, the context of it, so that they can solve the mission. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? So ideas going back and forth, there's freedom of information and there's confidence in that freedom. Okay? Everybody understand that? Okay. So they're all talking, right? They're hashing out a plan. He's talking. Notice Shelton's still giving the mission planning, and they are already in action, okay? So Lance is a superstar. He got his shirt off. He already knows what he's going to do. I'm putting these balls in his shirt. I'm tying it off, and I'm throwing it up. Okay? And they haven't even got to execution yet. They're still in mission planning, but because he was actively listening, trying to solve the problem, he ready to go with the solution. Make sense? Okay. so real quick, first candy bar. Okay, we're gonna watch, we're rewind this and watch it from the beginning. Okay, you watch just this clip, and then you tell me what the point is. Okay, we need to see it again. One more time.
Plan B.
Okay,
Plan B.
plan B.
Well, divide and conquer.
Okay, divide and conquer.
If they took too long, they were gonna go ahead and do it for the time's sake.
Okay, all right. So plan B. Explain plan B for me.
Plan B in case that didn't work.
Okay. In case that didn't work. Okay. Perfect. Right? So plan B is basically the answer, right? Okay, so now here's the caveat to that. Okay? The first thing I would say is they didn't have a clear plan explanation because they got guys over here and they got guys over here. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. Superstar, 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 superstar. When you got a lot of superstars in the group, them cats go solve the problem no matter what. Right? And so you have to, I know the background behind the group and I know the individuals, but as I'm watching, it can be a positive and a negative thing, right? Well, they didn't have a great plan layout and everybody didn't know exactly what they're doing, but they got plan B going on already. Okay? So if plan A fails, they go on plan B immediately, not even like no hesitation. Right? That's about as good as it gets. Okay? So we're starting off early. We got little things. You want Twix or you got Milky Way? What you want? Okay? All right, real quick before we go to the next one. Does everybody understand how this is going to work today? Okay? Pretty simple, correct? Okay? We got a lot of them. So we're going to roll. And when you get done, we're going to grade a whole problem in its entirety. We'll assign a station chief and a group leader. And then we're going to do the breakdown. And then we're going to go walk through some stations. And then the student athletes get here, I think at 12:30 or 1. We're going to run them through stations for an hour. And then we're going to do the breakdown after that. And we should be good. Okay? All right, so let's watch this one. This is another candy bar moment. Okay? One more time. Okay? What do we see in that last one?
Your non-superstar came to the front.
Okay? Well, the non-superstar is holding somebody's feet.
Oh, my bad.
You're okay.
I thought it was the one on the right.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, there's no wrong answers in here, right? There's none. Because I guarantee you someone else saw the same thing. Okay, you all right? What you got?
The guy that is at the top is reaching for the ball. Like, hey, hand me the balls, I'll place them up here.
Okay, so what in context, what's that mean? You got the right event,
Okay.
well, what's the context of that?
If he doesn't get it this time, just toss it over here to me and I can finish it off.
Okay, a little bit better?
We now the plans are starting to, the plan B and plan A are kind of starting to meet.
Okay, so anybody else? Candy bar is still out there. What do you got? That ain't gonna cut it. Ain't gonna cut it.
I don't know how to like say it, but like I mean like if he doesn't get it up there, he's gonna try and reach and put it up there for them.
If
Okay,
he gets it up there, he's gonna hold it up there.
okay. Anybody else?
Basically saying-
Anybody else before this candy bar goes away?
You suck, let me do it. And then the other one in the bottom is putting the thing in case he falls.
Okay, so here's the problem. If they were all on the same plan, he would have immediately thrown it over there.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what I'm looking at, right? Like I'm in there watching, I know what the proper answer is, but they didn't do it. Okay?
It shows that, because it's kind of like, it's pointless for them to be up there, if you're not going to throw the ball.
100%, right? Okay? So that's a negative right now. Like I'm okay, where's our plan at? All right? Now, it comes back to, they solved this problem 4 minutes faster than anybody else has ever solved this problem. Okay? So you gotta know the history and put a little caveat on that, right?
Would that be would that then just be stubbornness, not necessarily? I mean, obviously the plan also, but like, I mean, they're athletes. He saw the challenge of trying to get the balls to stay up there, and he kind of accepted that challenge and wanted to stick with it, and wasn't going to rest until he completed that part of it.
Can you hold that thought for one frame?
Sure.
All right, so here we go. Let's go to this frame. Now we're going to talk about another candy bar, okay? So no one got candy bar on the last one. Okay? We'll give another candy bar on this one, all right? Here we go. Let's watch this and tell me what you see. So this is a continuation of the last clip.
They change people to toss it up for one.
Okay? Change people to toss it up for one. All right?
And then
You're good. You're good. What's your thought?
I mean, they completed the challenge within the challenge, I guess.
Oh, man, come on!
But you got,
You just gave it to me in the last clip!
But
I
it
mean, that's
wasn't-
what I'm saying. Like, they weren't necessarily working together, even though they were thought they were.
But the guy on the left, the guy on the left is I think he's telling them to throw him the balls because
Okay.
they're not getting.
All right, we trying to look way too much into this. Right? This is as easy as it gets.
They're not working as a
The
team.
two guys partner up, they were selfish, not trying to help the other two. They were like, no, we're gonna do it, and they kept doing it until they did it.
Okay, a little bit. Listen, we don't have to dig for anything. We don't. This ain't no rocket science. You just watch it and see. This guy gets an A+ because he took 2 shots and realized he wasn't getting it
they
done.
did it to the next guy.
Okay? So then he let the next guy do it.
he gets on one try.
He got it in one try. Okay? Listen, man, this is super easy. This is like kindergarten, all right? You literally don't have to try to read into nothing. You look at what happens. This dude took 2 shots. He didn't get it. He let his buddy take a shot. They win instantly. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Okay, let's bring it back down to kindergarten. Okay, we try to operate like 10th grade, early college. Yo, it ain't that hard. Okay, good? All right, so that's a huge positive. One of the things you want to see out of a world-class leader is their ability to understand when they're not getting the job done. And when they're not able to, because a lot of times what you'll see, a guy like that that's not a world-class leader will force it 1 or 2 more reps before the other dude's like, hey, bud, like you're awful at this, right? It didn't happen here. Lance took 2 shots. Cosgrove was like, yo, I got this. Boom, done, right? Nobody had any ownership or stubbornness in their kind of part of the thing. What you got?
Lance is on here.
Lance, what's up, baby?
He wants everybody to know that, yeah, we got it in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Lance, 48 seconds. So let's talk about this real quick, okay? A superstar leader is on Instagram Live right now, and he wants this room to know that he still holds the record. Okay? Right?
Right.
An average person watches Instagram Live and is like, yeah, great. We hold the record for some balls on a ledge. Okay? Now, we're going to come back to that. Lance, thank you for that shout out because that works perfectly into what we're going to go into next. Okay? All right. No candy bars on the next one. No one got candy bar on that one. Back to kindergarten, okay? So, real quick. Watch the celebration. This is Lance. That's the guy we're talking about. National champion wrestler. Okay, club level, college national champion wrestler. Played 3 technique for me in New Hampshire. Tasmanian Devil, awesome guy. Builds houses up in New Hampshire. His dad's a big house builder. They have a huge house development on the lake. Crushing life right now. Got married last summer. I don't know why he did that, but he got married. Okay, he's crushing it. All right, so what we're going to watch here, watch the sincerity of the celebration. Okay? Because winners and great leaders give 2 craps about what they're winning at. Tiddlywinks, pitch and toss, cornhole, they don't care. Right? All they care about is winning. And really what they care about is not losing. Okay? So watch the sincerity in this celebration. Later on, we're going to come back to the sincerity question again, and I'm going to show you insincerity. Okay? And you're going to be like, ah. Okay? So just watch the sincerity of this celebration. Right? Lance is fist pumping. These clowns over here climbing I-beams. Like that's, look, like that's sincere. Like, yo, we just crushed this station, right? They're tackling Lance because Lance did such a great job with let's put the shirts in the balls in the shirts, right? Okay? That's super level leadership, okay? All right, so remember what I said when we said we're going to observe everything that they do, okay? Problems over, balls on the ledge. They're like, oh man, how we get the balls off the ledge, right? My man Mark's already over on the right side. He's like, I got this. Boom. Gets the high jump pit pole that they weren't allowed to use in the drill and get the ball down, right? Huge positive. Boom, they're done, right? Okay, great one. Great group. 4 superstars, really did a great job. That's what we're looking for, okay? More importantly, let me say it this way. We're not looking for it. It'll be so obvious when you see it that you won't have to worry about it. Does that make sense to you? Okay? The bad people can't act like that ever. It's not in them. It's not physically possible for them to act like that. Okay? I tell everybody, so when I ran this leadership training up at University of Illinois, my paper was out there in the streets already. If you Google me and leadership training, my paper was coming up. You could have read, it's like 7 pages long, and all of this is outlined in it. You could have read the whole thing, studied it, and came into my stations, and I still would have been able to discern immediately what you were giving me from the perspective of leadership, okay? Because you can't hide who you are when I put you in stress. And that's what I'm doing, I'm putting you in stress in the station. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, we got any questions before we move on to the next one? Okay. So now we're going to talk about chairs in the room. We're going to look at this from 2 contexts. We're going to do this station in this room next. So, I'm sorry, not next, but when we go to the stations, it'll be one of the stations that we do. So just observe it from 2 points. We're going to observe the people, and we're going to kind of observe how the station works at the same time. Everybody good on that? And we're going to grade chairs in the room station when we get done with this probably in an hour. So what time we got?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, so we're 30 minutes in. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Okay. So real quick, whole mission, plain and simple, just take the chairs out of the room, put the chairs back into the room just as you found it. Okay, one of the things we're going to do, we're going to print off a little chair on a piece of paper, and we're going to post it on a wall around here. Okay? We're going to make sure that we have a couple chairs that aren't like we got some gray chairs, we got these wood chairs. We'll take a picture of the room before we set it up, and they got to put all the chairs back in the same place. Okay? We'll have the chair on the wall, and then we might have a chair behind one of the doors, or we make it a folding chair, put it under one of the tables. Okay? We're going to give them some things that they fail at, so that we can see how they deal with failure. Okay? Make sense? All right. That's fine. It's 10 o'clock right now? Yeah, we'll be ready for 12:30. And you just got one group coming at 12:30, the second group coming at 1? That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. 1:15 will be fine. Because it'll be 30 minutes of station, we'll do 15 minutes of talking between, get it dialed in. Okay, so real quick, the players. Okay, I gotta be politically correct. I can't call him the black guy. It just is what it is. 2 wristbands, gray shirt, black sleeves, red hair, gray beard, okay? My college roommate's awesome. He does all of my writing for me. And he was like, yo, you can't call him the black guy, Jay. I said, come on, man. He said, yeah. I said, but he's the only black guy there. Like, can't do it. It's like, all right, 2 wristbands. Okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna give candy bar. We're gonna hold stack candy. Let's give the candy. Okay, what do you see here?
Is all chairs get out? Do all chairs have to be out at the same time?